Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask Joe Mavretic and Brenda Pollard, as we watch the runoff to this 2020 election cycle, it appears Democrats are racing further and further to the left, causing some to call them socialists, while Republicans seem just as intent to go further and further to the right, causing some to call them Trumpublicans because they don't even resemble traditional Republicans. It raises the question whether moderates have become extinct, or are they just hiding? Joe Mavretic, what do you think?
Well, first of all, on a show like this, I think you have to have agreement on the terms that you're going to use.
Well, so we'll agree on my terms.
And your terms are unconstitutional, according to John. First of all, there's a real difference between social democrats and democratic socialists. Both of them are pretty well-defined terms among academicians and people who spend the time talking about politics.
You got me in the weeds, Mavretic. I want to know, where are the moderates?
Okay, now, so on one side, we have a party that over the last 40 or 50 years has clearly turned itself toward social democrats. Our federal budget reflects this, but they're not socialist and they're not social democrats.
Answer my question. Where are the moderates?
The moderates have all gone in the middle, and it is the second largest party in the country.
But you don't hear from them.
Of course you don't hear from them because they have no voice. And the reason that they don't have any voice is that they haven't figured out a way to have a voice until now. And now they do. Term limits are the way to drain the swamp. And neither party's candidate can win without the middle people, the independents, the unaffiliated. And the unaffiliated are now going to start looking at term limits from...
Okay, you say moderates have a voice. Who is the spokesperson for that voice? Who is representing that voice?
They are at the ballot box because if moderates say, independents say, 5 or 6 terms for a House member at the U.S. and 2 terms in the Senate, 10 or 12 years, that's it. We will not vote for a candidate who's going to be there longer than that.
Brenda, what's your take on this?
Well, with respect, I think the moderates are those who showed up in 2018 for the supermajority. They showed up because they wanted those issues that they felt pertained to them.
Primarily health care.
And the health care, the issues of that we just talked about earlier. But the moderates, they're not hiding. They've always stood for that health care, for the values that they believe in.
See, and I disagree with what you're saying. I don't think they have a voice. I'm not seeing that voice being exercised. Maybe in 2018 we saw a little
bit in 2018.
You're right that you're not hearing and you're not seeing because we are so polarized among parties, but in the middle is almost as big as either one of the parties that has no voice except at the ballot box.
So you raise a very interesting question. Are political parties actually impeding the process?
No. This is a part of growth. For example, if you look at democracies in Europe, what they have is a party that is essentially social democratic. In the United States, we refuse to do that in the media. I mean, we are now calling the far left progressive. Who assigns that term? They are social democrats. And they even have major candidates now on the Democratic Party side who are clearly social democrats and say that.
But Brenda, how do I know I'm a moderate? I mean, what are the issues that moderates espouse as compared to what the Democrats are espousing or the Republicans?
Well, it's what we've done our lifetimes. It's the values that are important. Such as at the time.
Well, and we used to think that we were basically a centrist state in North Carolina. It hasn't been the case in the last couple of presidential cycles.
So if you feel that you don't have a voice as a moderate or an independent or whatever, here's what you do.
You go start a television show.
No, in the 2020 election, what you do is you refuse to vote for anybody for the House or the Senate who is going to be there over 12 years.
Interesting.
Interesting.
We'll watch you carry this flag into 2020, and we'll see how many stand up and salute it. And we thank you for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.